Hey all! I was looking back at some of my favorite songs and music videos from back in the day, like the 90s, early 2000s, that kind of stuff, because there's some discrepancies, some little changes, some are bigger than others. And I just want to go through a couple of those and see if you remember the alternative versions, the alternative histories of these, or if you only remember the current versions. What sparked the idea for me to go look back at my favorite songs from when I was way younger was there's a channel called Mandela Affected. So he's noticed all kinds of stuff. And he pointed out that George Michael made a song called Freak that he never made back in Old Earth. Like the version I'm from and the version Mandela Affected is from, we've never seen this before. I've seen so much of George Michael stuff. If this had been around, it would have been played all over the place, all over the radio, all over the TV. This particular single did not exist. Kind of like Blade Runner-ish. It's like a strange, dystopian, futuristic, trashy kind of concept music video. So it's too bad he didn't make it, but for whatever reason he turned down this entire thing, song and music video, on Old Earth because it just didn't happen at all. But it happened here. So that was what sparked my thought, was I should go back and look at the songs from back in the day that I really liked and see if I notice any differences. I went back, and one of my favorite songs from back in the day was Len, Steal My Sunshine. But one thing that I do remember from having watched the video so many times is that Sharon Constanza, in this music video on Old Earth, this is a huge change for me. She looked about 8 months along, maybe 8.5 months along, pregnant when this music video was taken. And she was wearing the same color top, but she had a big, pregnant belly and black slacks on. And in this version, this is a blue dress. It goes all the way down to her ankles, and she's not pregnant at all. Or if she is, it's the very earliest stages because her belly is really small. It struck me, I was like, what happened? Just that baby didn't happen? What? Because that used to be one of the things about this music video, was when they were going around on bikes and stuff like this, I was terrified. I was like, be careful of that hugely pregnant woman. This is not safe to have her dangling off the back of a bike. Just watch out. But she's not pregnant at all here. And one of the funniest things, it's almost like the Mandela effect given a little nod to the Old Earthers, is at the end of the video, almost towards the very end, there's a different lady who's hugely pregnant. And she's got something written on her stomach, 9 months along, or there's the number 9 and some writing. I couldn't really see what it said. But Sharon isn't. And I don't know if that baby never happened, or if that baby was born before the video or after the video, I don't know. But she's not expecting a kid in this video. And because of that, it's just the video's got a different vibe. I guess because she looked slightly uncomfortable when she was that big. You know what I'm saying? First of all, it'd be uncomfortable to be that big, that late of a pregnancy. And 2, she may have been kind of nauseous. But she just didn't look like she was having fun. She looked like she was kind of uncomfortable. Whereas now that there's no baby at all, she looks like she's having great fun in this video. She's smiling and dancing around, and it's a totally different vibe. She's just chilling here in the back. And I was like, okay, all right, that's okay. But the song is basically the same. Her verse is a little bit different. But for the most part, the song's the same. Biggest difference for me was the pregnancy. Moving on, Savage Garden, To the Moon and Back. I noticed a bunch of differences here about Savage Garden. First of all, they never made the video for To the Moon and Back that they made on my Old Earth. They made a couple of different versions of music videos. Make a different video for Europe, for Australia, for the US, and for wherever else they market. They might even make a different video for Japan. But I watched all these different versions of videos for To the Moon and Back, and I see stuff that reminds me of the Old Earth music video, but they never actually made the version that I watched over and over every Saturday when they would play it on television. there's like a couple of things. Let's stick to the music video first. So in the music video for To the Moon and Back on my version of Old Earth, it was blue lit like this. The lighting was blue. His hair was different. Like his hair was a little bit shorter at the back. Two different examples to like kind of show you like the visual. So first of all, it was more like the 90s pudding bowl haircut, which like Aaron Carter and a lot of people had. So it was like this haircut, but like longer in the front, down, like the front would be down to the cheekbones. And also he had it styled a lot like he had in the I Want You video. So it looked a lot like this. So that's the first thing, is the hair is different. The lighting is the same. The set is different. So in To the Moon and Back, on the video that I watched over and over, they're in like this house that's got wooden slats on the walls, and like the camera is pointing to him, but he's like in a window frame. So it's like he's in the house with the blue lighting and he's looking out towards the moon, and they show different like shots of the moon and things like that. I can clearly picture it in my head what it looked like, and it just didn't get made. It never happened here. So I wonder if anyone else remembers him standing like in a house that's like got medium colored wood slats on the walls and like a wooden frame, like windows and French doors kind of thing, and he's staring out like towards the moon, and he's got like that different haircut that I just described. There was like, you know, a pretty girl in like a black dress, and it would cut back and forward to her and back to him, and the performance shot of him. But I can't find it anywhere. The other thing about it, and I have no idea how to say this politically correctly, I'm sorry, I have no idea, so I'll just go ahead and say it, is when I first watched the music videos and the versions of it here, of Savage Garden, I was like, oh, okay, he's different. A lot of feminine energy going on there. He's, when I looked at him, I was like, oh, okay, he's gay in this version of the world, because he wasn't gay on Old Earth. Like, he's got hugely feminine energy here, and that was before I looked into, like, your Wikipedia to see what his story was here. So back on Old Earth, he stayed married to his childhood sweetheart, and they had a couple of children. But here on New Earth, he broke up with his childhood sweetheart, like towards the end of the band, like while the band broke up in 2001 here, and he had gone through a divorce with her and had come out as gay. And I was like, he's like extremely feminine here. He's got like more of like, I don't know, like a Backstreet Boys meets Prince kind of vibe. And like, he was just like way more masculine energy on Old Earth. He was like a different version of himself, like straight acting version. It's even noticeable in his voice. Like, he sings differently because he's like far more feminine here than he was there. And I actually really like his singing here. It's like way more emotive, but I was just surprised. I didn't know that that would happen. That like in some versions of Earth you're like gay, and in some versions of Earth you might still be gay, but you're just like a different version of yourself. Like, your energies are different. You come across differently. It's not just like your facial features are different, but that your kind of vibe is different when people see you. So I guess across the whole spectrum of things, the Mandela effect can change anything. Oh, the other thing I wanted to say is Fred Durst. Fred Durst is thin in all of his videos now. And he was way heavier. Like, way heavier. In like Rollin' and My Generation and all those songs that we saw like 100 times over because they topped the charts back then. So I don't know what's up. It's really weird to go and watch the exact same music video and see somebody look like 40 pounds lighter doing the exact same thing. It's like the strangest thing, because yeah, of course, during life we can fluctuate in weight, but when you look at the exact moment, like an exact photograph or an exact music video, which is a documentation of that person at that point in time, and they're so different, like noticeably different, it's really, really weird. is just another Mandela effect thing. So not to lump Fred Durst in the same category as Marilyn Monroe, but he's another person. I'm making a list of people who are all thin now instead of curvy, let's say. So sorry, Durst, you lost your curves. you're you're so thin now that can't I can't figure it out. It's really weird to me. So I think that's basically it. And if I can find any like residue of the To the Moon and Back video, I will post it. So far I haven't. I've just found like little bits and pieces that remind me of what the video was. So that's my whole deal. And I should probably check out and see if she ever had any kids. Because maybe just the timing of that was different on this earth. Because, like, the kids thing, like I mentioned in the Peter Andre thing, the Peter Andre video that I made, is interesting to me. How some people are here, no matter what, no matter how different their parents' circumstances are. And in this particular case, some people are not here. They just didn't happen. Their mom just didn't end up expecting them. And I wonder what the reasons for that are. Is it just random? Is it destiny? What is it that makes you be part of this Mandela affected world and not like cross over from old Earth? Why are some people not here and some people are here? So I'm trying to figure that one out. If you can remember like any big changes from music videos from back in the day, let me know. And talk to you next time.